Is private investigator work dangerous? And if so, what are the most dangerous things about it? Hi, Larry K, ShadowAnyone.com, and the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide series, premium private investigator training from someone who's been there and done that. Today's video is in reply to an email I got from Missy B in California. Missy, thank you for watching. Thank you for sending in the question. It's a question I get a lot, and if you go to ShadowAnyone.com, there's a frequently asked questions page, and this is the #1 thing because I just get it so often. Is private investigator work dangerous? Generally speaking, if you do it right, if you do it well and properly, it's not very dangerous. And think about it for a moment. Say you're doing a surveillance. If it's done well, if you know what you're doing, the subject of the surveillance never knows you're there. You go, you do the surveillance, and you leave, never making contact. They don't even know you're there. That's about as safe as it gets. Now, if you're doing process serving, every time you serve process, pretty much the person knows you're there, of course, especially personal service. And sometimes you're delivering some pretty bad news. Some people are unhappy to get the papers. Can be a little more dangerous, but still generally a fairly safe thing to do. And if you know what you're doing and how you're handling it, you can mitigate those dangers quite a bit. Being prepared when you go in and knowing your surroundings and things like that I teach on the process server training course. So a little bit more dangerous, but think back again here to surveillance. If you don't do it well, if you do get busted out, that changes everything. That can be dangerous for you. The person is not going to be happy that they're being followed around, that they're being videoed or recorded or photographed. So it's very important for a variety of reasons, including your safety, that you not be found out about that. Sometimes, even when a surveillance goes well and you do everything perfectly, later the person will find out that you did a surveillance because it will come out as evidence in court, for example. Not because of anything you've done wrong, it's just eventually this person may find out because you were collecting the information for a reason. Doesn't always come out, sometimes it does. And in hindsight, they may be very angry. You know, if you're working a child custody case, you even have this issue where maybe years later a disgruntled parent gets drunk, they haven't seen their kid, they're not getting calls, they send a Christmas gift, they don't get nothing back from the kid, and you know, they can work themselves up to remembering back and blaming that private investigator who followed them around and busted them out. And again, you know, you want to take precautions ahead of time to protect yourself from people who might want to come back later. I have not, knock wood and God bless, had that problem, but it's something that you want to be aware of and take proper precautions ahead of time about it. Now, the things that are a little more dangerous about it, on a surveillance, for example, I'll tell you, I want you to be very careful doing surveillances because honestly, getting in an automobile accident is probably one of the most dangerous parts of doing a surveillance. It's very easy to get tunnel vision. It's very easy to be focused in on your subject. They made it through the light. You got stuck. Are they going to get stopped at the next light? Can you catch up with them? These are things that are running through your mind, and you may not be paying attention as well as normal as you would to your normal basic driving safety. So automobile accidents are definitely a danger for you. On a less glamorous side, legal pitfalls. Everybody has got an attorney nowadays, so you have to be aware of the possible legal dangers, and it's maybe not a physical threat to you, but it can certainly compromise your business if you're sued or if there's an accusation made at you, even a false accusation. That's something you're going to have to deal with. I will tell you though, and you may not know this or suspect this or think about this, one of the most dangerous things that I personally have come across doing PI work is when I'm on a surveillance in the summer, just straight up the heat. The heat can kill you. The inside of a surveillance vehicle, and even a larger vehicle, a van, a car, the heat can become overwhelming, and you have to take precautions against that. And of course I teach all that on the Investigator's Ultimate Guide to Surveillance. But that is truly I've had a lot of things happen to me. Guys I've served process on have taken a swing at me, things like that. The closest I think I've ever come to dying doing this work is just pure out heat exhaustion from being in a surveillance van and not really being prepared for it on that particular occasion. I remember it well. So watch the heat when you're doing surveillance in the summer. But generally, private investigator work is a reasonably safe thing to do if you know how to do it, if you know what you're doing. This is Larry K, shadowanyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.